You want to open up?
Yep, let's go ahead. Welcome back, Weekend Warriors, to another episode of the Weekend Dojo, and tonight we are covering
Christmas music.
Yes, we are. And seeing as how tomorrow's Christmas Eve, we'll try to wrap this up. We'll try to make this fairly entertaining, help you get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be stressful for a lot of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, when we're talking about Christmas music, I always think of what I hear on the radio. But lately, I've been looking at other stuff. Now, I've made 2 suggestions this month for Christmas songs to listen to. The first being "Run Rudolph Run" by Chuck Berry,
Of
and
course.
the second being "Merry Christmas Baby" by B.B. King.
Chuck Berry and B.B. King are always really good choices, though, in general, aren't they?
Usually, yeah. Oh, and then of course you've got "Is That You, Santa Claus" by Louis Armstrong.
Wasn't B.B. King blind?
No, he was not. There are a couple of blues guys out there who were blind. B.B. King was not.
Who am I thinking of? Always wore the glasses when he was playing.
Oh, there's a lot of guys like that.
He had an illness. I'm really curious. I don't remember. Was it Ray?
I don't think
Ray.
Ray. It couldn't be Ray. Maybe Ray Charles.
African American jazz player, played piano. Always had the shades over his eyes.
Oh, you're talking about Stevie Wonder.
Okay, Stevie Wonder. I don't remember why what his condition was, though.
I can't remember either. He had something about. But yeah, he was blind.
Okay, cool. That's what I was trying to figure out. Now back to what you were saying.
Now, I recommend "Is That You, Santa Claus" by Louis Armstrong, because okay, we all like rock and roll, but sometimes the old trumpety jazz is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And "Is That You, Santa Claus" used to be one of my favorite Christmas songs to listen to, period.
I think one of my favorites would have to be "I'm Mr. Icicle, I'm Mr. Snow."
Oh, yeah.
From Santa Claus Is Coming to Town.
I thought that was from Mr. I thought that was from a different movie. I thought.
Nope, it was from Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, because you remember, in it, St. Nicholas had to went through a few different met a few different people. One of them was Freeze-Meister and Heat-Meister.
No. It was the Winter Warlock in that one. Freeze-Meister's from a different series.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, which one am I thinking of then?
You're thinking of Freeze-Meister and
I know it was Freeze-Meister and Mr. Heat, but if you remember correct, hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick because I really want to know.
In Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, it was a character called the Winter Warlock. People called him Mr. Warlock, and then he insisted they just call him Winter.
Right, I remember him.
And then there was a Burgermeister. Burgermeister Meisterburger.
Let's see here. Let's see. He was in A Year Without Santa Claus, a Miser Brothers. Let's see. Yeah, he was in A Year Without Santa Claus. That's what it is.
Okay. But if we're talking Christmas music, let's talk about just why do we keep re-recording these Christmas pop songs that happened in the 80s?
I don't know. What's the most popular one? It's do 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 do.
I thought it. See, the one that
this is you, but I don't remember who sings it.
I can't remember either. See,
was it
the most annoying one for me? Was Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Mm-hmm. Now, question: are we just gonna cover Christmas music? Are we gonna go into depth like ones that have suffered controversy? Or are we gonna avoid those?
I think we'll avoid those for the most part because people know which ones
Mm-hmm.
are controversial.
Anyone who follows the news recently knows what's musics are being.
And that's the thing. I think if you're appreciating the original recording in the context of its time, that's fine. But I don't really think we need to keep re-recording it with new artists.
Right. I don't think so either. Like,
anywho,
some songs. I honestly, I just want to cover one song real quick because I really don't think it's that bad, especially listening to lyrics. I've listened to the lyrics several times to this one, but I've never noticed anything wrong about it. I think people are just taking it out of context. Baby, it's cold outside.
I can understand why they think it the way it does, especially considering modern issues. But like I said, sometimes you really shouldn't be re-recording something that should be appreciated in the context of its time.
Exactly. I agree. And I'm thinking so, the thing is people are trying to say that the song should be just wiped out completely and forgotten and not aired anymore. But the thing is, language is key. If you're not smart enough to realize the language of that time and the context of it, and assume that you're just taking modern language and trying to make it sound worse than really what it is, you're that's on you, in my opinion.
Essentially, this is the way I look at it. Okay, so
there's nothing wrong with the song.
No, there's nothing wrong with the song in and of itself, provided that, like I said, you were listening to the original cut as it was by the artists who understood what the context was.
Yes.
And they're airing it as such. I don't think we need to be having new artists record it.
Of course, no, I agree completely. Don't have a new artist record it. Don't edit the song. Don't mix it around to be your own message of what it is. Have it as its original format, uncut, uncensored.
Especially because, and let's face it, it's kind of become a song it's enjoyed more by the mature crowd anyway. People, mostly adults, because kids aren't going to understand that in its context.
Right, and I think that's part of the issue is people hearing on the radio, kids think a completely different context than what people our age would have thought of it.
Exactly, and so what I'm saying is, like, if you don't want to air it on the radio, that's fine. That's your radio station, whatever. But it's like I've got it on a disc, man, and it's okay. So it's not
a whole lot better on a disc.
Yes, absolutely. And anyway, it's like it only has a bad message if you think that we have not come as far as we have. Granted, we are still miles and miles away from being where we should be with human rights and everything.
Yeah.
But you cannot deny that we have made progress since then.
The real message, despite interpreting words and such, wasn't the real message just somebody being a nice person, letting someone in to give them a warm, hot.
Well, the actual context is that at the time period it was written in, this was kind of being youthful. She was going out to see her significant other, and he was very blatantly trying to seduce her and kept offering her excuses to stay, and she would feign ignorance about wanting to go, just so that, because that was the game that was played at the time. Since then, the whole process is a lot different. We treat each other differently.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to watch it with the same mindset.
I honestly didn't even see the sexual message behind it. I saw it as
because that's how songs were written at the time. It was quite literally him trying to seduce her.
Okay.
And that, like I said, since then,
me as a kid growing up in the late '90s, early 2000s, listening to that song, and being around people I've been around, I thought it was just. I was told. And just by listening to it, it was somebody being nice and trying not to let him freeze and let him into their house. That's how I remember listening. I haven't
see, like that was his primary excuse for her not leaving.
Okay.
And yes, it is kind of that, it is that sort of song. But like I said, you have to approach this song with the same mindset that you would if you were to watch, say, the old Twilight Zone episodes,
Right.
or One Step Beyond, or It's a Wonderful Life. You have to have that mindset, which means that it probably isn't something you should be showing to your kids, and that's perfectly fine. Don't show it to your kids; they're not gonna get it yet.
Right. As Marty McFly said in Back to the Future.
Yes.
This is what was the lines? It was, oh, this is something you guys might not get yet, but your kids are gonna love it, or something like that.
Pretty much. And at this point, it's more like this is for the parents and not the kids.
Right. Reverse of same saying, but the reverse.
So I would say the reasonable approach would be, don't show it to your kids until you're certain they're old enough to understand it in its historical context.
Correct.
And no, we should not be re-recording this with new artists, because times have changed.
Doing Bohemian Rhapsody with Kanye West. That's why you don't record music.
That's why you don't re-record music.
Yeah. That's why you don't re-record music. Especially if it's a mega hit masterpiece.
Anyway, political shit aside, we'll ignore the song that some people may not even just like because they don't appreciate the weird timing it's got. Let's talk about, like I said, Louis Armstrong.
Okay, question. At the end of the stream, since you have your guitar, you know how to play well. You got any Christmas songs you know how to play, and I can do the singing too?
I could
do some Christmas music.
We might be able to try something. Hold on, let me grab my guitar.
Okay, because I can't play yet, but I was wanting to show off my new Strat, but I can sing.
1 second, I can't go here
yet. Nice guitar. I like that, red and black.
Oh, this is Thud. He is my travel guitar.
Oh, I see the bag there too. That is kick. That's killer.
Oh, that's my Mojo hand.
Oh, that's cool. Where do you get yours?
I just asked a guy to make it for me.
Think you can hit me up?
Sure. So let's see if we're thinking Christmas songs. Yeah. No, that ain't it.
Which one do you know? Do you know Mr. Grinch?
Let's see.
I want to pull up lyrics. Mr. I'm ready when you are.
Let's probably not Mr. Grinch. Let's see. See, I don't bother learning holiday songs.
Well, we could I could have it playing an instrumental and then go from there, if you want. If you want to do a few holiday songs. We got chat people?
Yeah, you want to check that for me?
Yeah, I'll check it. Good job. Let's see. I know John Bennett Ramsey was only 6 years old when she died, but is it wrong to fantasize about what could have been?
I do not.
Who's John Bennett Ramsey?
You've actually got me beat. Maybe this is something we'll have to look into later. So You know, I don't know any holiday songs. I really should learn Run, Rudolph, Run. I really should learn it, but let's see. Oh well.
John Mayer is.
The guy says, never mind. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get it. All right, so what as far as Christmas music goes, did you find out what you wanted to do? Or do you want to discuss anything else?
Yeah, if we're I guess we're gonna do a little discussion on Christmas music. I find that some of the best blues or some of the best Christmas music is blues and rockabilly stuff.
Okay.
Like, or not even, sometimes it's swing. Ella Fitzgerald's Christmas on Christmas Island is a great example.
Ooh, what about Carol of the Bells metal version?
You're talking about Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Carol of the Bells. Yes, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is one of my favorite orchestral metal groups, period. And I try to listen to their version of Carol of the Bells every year. Which, by the way, if you guys are thinking,
play that after this stream for and start making this a yearly thing. After our stream, we just play it and listen to it. Oh, by the way, if our viewers have any questions, feel free to please ask.
We might have to. Yep, we might have to make it a short stream. So if we're talking Christmas music, if we're talking yearly listening traditions, let's talk about times we remember most listening to Christmas music. Because for me personally, it's my family always puts it on the radio whenever we go to get a treat.
I know on Tuesday, see, Santa's coming a little late simply because we're going out. We're actually driving up to Wisconsin on Christmas Day to see family.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have one present that our mom's going to give us one present that day, and then the rest when we get back. As far as that goes, though, we will be probably listening to Christmas music on the way to Wisconsin. 10-hour drive.
Oh boy,
that'll be fun.
Let's see if you're not sick of it by the time it. Now,
yeah,
like I said, I've still got my soundtrack to the Charlie Brown Christmas that I listen to every year as well.
That's a good one. What about God damn it.
And sometimes the song is associated with a movie.
Yes, I was thinking through. There was one for one of the Santa Claus movies. I'm trying to remember what it was, though. Oh, by the way, before I forget, favorite Christmas movie? Michael Keaton, Jack Frost.
I forgot about that.
I love that movie. And that, when I first saw it, I loved it, but I never realized it was Batman. That Batman was a snowman.
Yeah.
What was it? It was a song associated with one of the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies. I remember there was a song I loved from one of the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies. I just don't remember what it was or what it sounded like because it's been a long time since I've watched the Santa Claus trilogy.
Yeah, same here. I can't remember for shit.
I feel like I'm gonna have to turn that on sometime within the next week and watch that just for old time's sakes.
For sure. I think we've about talked ourselves out.
Yeah, there's really not much you could do with Christmas music, honestly. Let's do open discussion.
Yeah, fair enough. So I got this here. You showed a little interest in this right here.
Yes, definitely.
This is called a mojo hand, or sometimes a trick bag, or a charm bag, or a prayer bag. It's a sort of an old folk magic charm.
Yeah.
And different ones can be made for different things, to bring different things about. This one is specifically for, music.
Yeah. Where'd you get it?
I don't think it's a real mojo hand. That's because I got it off someone on Etsy, I think. But it does.
How much do they go for?
This one was like $13.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a fun little charm. Brings me a little bit of confidence, really. Just because who doesn't love the blues,
Of course. Later.
Pardon?
Can you send me some links and I can go from there?
Okay, no.
Thanks.
Actually, in folkabilly though, a lot of the guys, they don't just go for the mojo hands. A lot of them go for a chicken foot.
Okay.
That's another kind of folk magic charm.
I'm working my array around. I'm not sure where I want to go yet.
And it's just kind of a funny thing, the connection between guitarists and folk magic to improve their skill.
Though I do want to share a few things I got while I was on my dad's side of the family's party. We had Christmas early for my dad's side of the family. Here's something I got. Again, I have no idea what metal. I know almost nothing about Metal Gear Solid, so I have to do research into this guy. But my uncle got me this from a mystery bag at NecoCon, which is a convention we went to. And boy, does this look killer. I like it. It's a beautiful figure, so I'm definitely keeping it. Because, fully posable action figure.
Yeah.
Well painted. Who cares if you know what it is at this point?
Yeah, sometimes you got to appreciate something for the effort that was put into it.
Yeah. I will be doing a toy review of this. Expect to handle this with a lot of extra care because it is fragile.
Yep.
So yeah, I actually cleared out my Transformers to make space for this. I'm gonna find a place for them later.
I guess as far as other new things in my life, I have been working on a bit of a slide piece for guitar. But that's on my Resonator, which is in a different tuning.
Sounds good. Something else I also got. The Spider-Man 2 album from 2004. Here, let me open it up. I'll show you the inside. And that was my favorite bit of this was the little paper inside cover.
A little insert.
It's a comic.
Cool.
And then, do you ever have one of these?
Oh yeah, I've got tons of CDs, dude. My favorite ones are the inserts that have the lyrics in them.
Do you have this soundtrack though?
I do not.
Ever had it?
No.
You're missing out. This was a good one. A lot of the earlier Marvel movie soundtracks are really good. When they had like the whole music inspired by stuff on it. Before the soundtracks became just orchestra music.
Huh. I think that's about it for what we can do tonight. So I guess thank you everyone for joining us on the eve of Christmas Eve.
Yeah, the eve of Christmas Eve.
And as always, we will see you next time.
Yeah,
Hope you all have a great holiday. Hope some of you have already had a good holiday this month, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year.
With me, my goal, it all depends on what I'm doing tomorrow with family and all that, but my goal is to have a toy review of this done tomorrow. Also a game review of this game called Rush Hour. It has these little cars, little puzzle game. It is a to-go game also, so you can do it in the car, at home, wherever. So, with that said, see you next Dojo stream, and as always, stay more phenomenal, everybody.
See you later, Weekend Warriors.